There's a couple of really disturbing things. We're going to start getting into them on tomorrow. So working towards tomorrow's show, we're going to spend a lot of time on the Autopen thing. That thing is that thing's a mess. I mean, the president didn't. I mean, we have the audio. Let's see if we can get that for tomorrow. We have the audio with the president and who was it with Tapper, and he's like, "I didn't do that." Yes, you did, sir. You just signed a bill 2 days ago. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. Oh, well, I guess I did. That shows he was either absolutely incompetent, which is very, very likely, and or somebody else is just using the Autopen and he didn't know what he was signing. That is, I mean, everyone involved with that should, quite honestly, be tried for treason. You are a traitor to the Constitution of the United States. You are taking on the power of the presidency yourself. You don't have the right to do it. And I don't think Kamala Harris was the one doing it. It wasn't like it was in the chain of command. We have any idea who did it? I mean, Susan Rice comes to mind. I mean, Ron Klain comes to mind, right? Who else?
Neera Tanden.
Who is she?
So she was the Center for American Progress president.
Oh.
She came in as like an advisor. I think she was at OMB, I think, right, Stu, for a while. And then she just kind of, I think she took, actually, then she took Susan Rice's position as the head of interior policy or something like that after Susan Rice left. All these are Obama people that we were like, why the hell are some of these people getting so close to the president and sticking with him? That were from the Obama administration.
Because the reason why they were all sticking with is because they held the power.
Yeah.
They held the power. I'm convinced of it. Where does the Autopen live? Do we know? Is that right outside of his desk, kind of like a printer? Is it right outside of the? Honestly, I don't know. Where is that? I mean, that should be under lock and key. But who has access to that?
Yeah,
because that's important. Did the secretary of the president need to give people permission? I mean, there's got to be a chain of command for the Autopen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, we should be looking now because specifically for that question, because the Heritage Foundation just did like a deeper dive into it, and they found that the president was on vacation golfing while some of these pardons are being signed.
Which president?
Biden.
Wait. I'm trying to get my arms around that. Yeah. He was golfing? Well, did he have an auto club that just like hit the ball for him? He could swing a golf club?
Yeah, yeah.
No way. I'm having a hard time believing that. There's no way. I just see a ball on a tee just kind of falling. On his first hole, he only had 1,740 strokes and an actual stroke or two. But that's a different story.
We should look more into that. There's probably an auto walk up the stairs to Air Force One.
Seriously.
Well, let's open this investigation up for more.
Well, we did auto president for a long time. Yeah, we just kind of like put it on.
This is bad.
Yeah,
this is really bad.
And I guess like it's been used since the Bush administration.
No, it was used. I think it was used. The first order to be signed was Barack Obama had to sign a big order, and he was, I think, on vacation in Hawaii.
Act, yeah, that's the legislation. That was the first legislation done.
Oh, what was the first?
I think it went all the way back to 2005, I believe, during Bush. It was and the Department of Justice issued an okay, basically, to use it. But it's never been challenged in the Supreme Court.
I think it should be.
Kind of odd, right? Like,
yeah, I think it should be.
You kind of have to, I don't know, maybe actually sign the bills.
I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with an Autopen in a way that you would say it needs to get to the president. It has to have his signature. But if you had if it was like the nuclear football. You know what I mean? Where it's with the president at all time and it could feed something and he could approve it. But then why not just have him sign it?
Just sign it, right?
Yeah. So I think that we may not, back in 2004, even 2008, we may not have realized what they would use this for because we used to think people had some integrity. But obviously not. I mean, this is really, really bad. Again, where's Pam Bondi?
If you're thinking about it, though, if you're a second-term president that wants a third term, but you don't really want to say, you just want to be the guy behind the guy in the shadows, the Autopen is the perfect thing for you.
Oh, it is.
You got a puppet like Joe in there?
Yeah,
perfect.
Yeah. Now, Trump did use it a few times as well, right? So it's not like it's never been...
No, I'm not saying that it's bad.
I think it is bad, though. Like, I'm not saying that It should be challenged. And look,
Yeah.
the proper way to do this is to send the documents to him and let him sign it in person.
And I don't know if they know
not
that.
send his signature across some machine that replicates his signature back in Washington while he's on vacation.
And I don't know if you know this, but we're past the age of the fax machine, and even the fax machine would have been okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fax it to me, and I'll sign it. The signature is the important part of that.
Well, this is going to be a huge conversation because President Trump this morning was tweeting out that a lot of these pardons that we're giving to J6 committee people, stuff like that, those preemptive pardons, he's now saying those should be null and void. And there's nothing in the Constitution that even comes close to addressing this.
Well, come on. I've never seen a president do 6,000 pardons. I mean, how did that system work? You know what I mean? 6,000.
That's a lot of batteries on the Autopen.
Yeah, it's a lot of batteries on and a lot of batteries on the president. Just to stay awake to understand 6,000 names and cases. So we're gonna get into that tomorrow. Also, what's his face was with Donald Trump this morning, the fighter,
Conor McGregor.
Yeah. Do we have a clip of that? Yeah, go ahead and play this.
What is going on in Ireland is a travesty. Our government is the government of zero action with zero accountability. Our money is being spent on overseas issues that has nothing to do with the Irish people. The illegal immigration racket is running ravage on the country. There are rural towns in Ireland that have been overrun in one swoop, that have become a minority in one swoop. So issues need to be addressed, and the 40 million Irish Americans, as I said, need to hear this, because if not, there will be no place to come home and visit.
What a clever way to get him into the White House on St. Patrick's Day. I think this guy is, I don't know anything about him personally. I just know that he wants to run, I think, for prime minister for president in Ireland. And Ireland's in trouble. They all are. They're in trouble. Ireland, it's not the sweet little, first of all, it's now the home of Rosie O'Donnell, so it's not the sweet little place it used to be. But Rosie, I don't know if you should peek outside your window from time to time. The Islamic Brotherhood are setting up shop there, and I don't think they like gay people. They like them even less than the people you think hate them here.
I can personally guarantee you, though, that wherever Rosie O'Donnell's living, these problems do not probably exist. It's probably very beautiful and lots of grass and hills. That's probably where she is.
Ireland is in deep trouble. They're losing their churches. They're just being made into mosques all over. I'm telling you, I think by 2030 you could see Great Britain become an Islamic state.
Mm. Yeah, to your point, Stu, that's a really good point, because Conor McGregor is actually the perfect person to speak about this, because I don't know if there's a documentary about him on Netflix or something, I can't remember, but it shows his entire background. And he's talking about rural communities and harder communities that are being affected by this. That's where he comes from. He was their champion. He grew up on very tough streets, worked his way up, a lot of solid blue collar neighborhoods.
Deep State's going to do everything, not ours, theirs, going to do everything they can to kill that guy.
Oh gosh.
But he's the guy, Liz Truss said to me in an interview I did with her just the other day, it's coming out this week. We talked about, where are these people that could be like a Donald Trump for all these different countries? And she said, they're coming. Mm-hmm. They're coming. I think he's one of them.
Yeah, I do too. Absolutely.
That would be very good.
Did you ask Liz about the annoying use of certain vowels within their language?
No,
that's what I wanted.
If you look at it's so funny you would say that. If you watch the video, I tried right at the beginning, but I couldn't get it in. She just kept going. I was like, you have U's in words that shouldn't have U's. There's no U in color. Okay, she wouldn't hear of it. Anyway, I don't know if she would have thought that was funny anyway. She would have been confused by you Americans, I have a feeling. There's another story that I want to get on to tomorrow that I couldn't believe. I spent a couple of hours just trying to verify this and then reading all the stories from the Washington Post and the New York Times and everything else. So it's not some sort of crazy conspiracy theory, because it's everywhere. And it's about these concentration camps in Mexico. Did you hear this?
Yeah, a little bit.
Did you hear about this, Stu?
A little bit, but not.
This should be on every. This is like
should be a
front
big thing.
page. This should be a very big thing. We've been saying all the time. People just go down. They just disappear in Mexico. Where'd they go? Well, outside of the town of Guadalajara, they have found this abandoned torture camp with underground crematories, underground ovens. Okay, they're finding teeth and bones, and they found remnants of at least 700 people. And what they were doing was kidnapping people, kidnapping their families, and then saying, you're going to do work for us, or we're going to kill your whole family. And they would torture these people and torture the family, and then just burn the bodies. And some of it was apparently done to just not to recruit new people, just to learn how to torture people. I'm telling you, I don't know how we don't send in special forces pretty soon.
They're talking the cartels are doing this? That's who
yeah. Well, also in the, what is it, the Santa Muerte?
Santa Muerte.
Yeah. What is that? It's a religion, a gang? What is that?
Yeah, it's like it's kind of like an offshoot of Christianity, or something like that. So my wife,
meaning
is
like Christianity believes in Satan.
It's hard. It's really hard. Like, I know they have like witches and stuff like that. They can cast spells and do all this stuff. You can walk through Mexico City, like through like a really public square that looks very normal. You've been to Mexico City. It looks almost European more than anything else. And then all of a sudden you'll see like one of their statues. It's like a woman, but it's a skeleton, and she's like in a Grim Reaper outfit.
Right, and that's the symbol of it, right?
They'll come up to it and like tap it or pray to it and like move on. It's very normal. It's very foreign. Like I was like, what the heck is going on?
Offshoot, a twisted offshoot of, because it seemed, as I was reading about it this weekend, it was like, is this something like the Lady of Guadalupe gone wrong? What is this?
Nah, I think it's like I don't quote me on this. Someone's gonna be listening right now and smack me in the head, but it seems like it's like a saint that that looks after even bad people or something like that. So cartels are like heavily into it, and they've gone way off the deep end, in that direction. But this is not surprising to me that this is happening. Like, have you ever seen Narcos Mexico on Netflix?
No.
So you watch through that, and it's based off of real events and things that happen as the cartels spread through Mexico. But they'll just kind of randomly throw in like the attorney general is on board or getting paid off, by some of these cartels.
Donald Trump's not going to. The people of Mexico, if we go in with special forces and we kill all these groups, people in Mexico are going to love Americans. They're going to love them.
Oh yeah.
Because nothing's going to happen because all of their. All of the you can't get elected unless you either just turn a blind eye or with the cartels. You can't. They kill you, and they kill everybody around you, and everybody wants to replace you. So, it's got to stop. It's got to end.
I don't know how you separate where the Mexican government, dirty Mexican government officials that are on the take and part of this whole thing. Like, we did a story probably last year where we were talking about, like, there was like a general assigned to crack down on this one cartel in one region. They find out a couple months later that he's on the take and getting paid off.
I have to tell you, I think Mexico is a drug state. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's a failed state. I think it's a drug state at this point.